This podcast is sponsored by Pocket Hose.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn. Homeowners, listen up. Before Pocket Hose, garden hoses were heavy, bulky, hard to carry, and always kinking. Then Pocket Hose changed all that. It's the American invention that made watering lighter, easier, and smarter. And now, the world's #1 expanding hose has gone ballistic. Turn on the water and watch it grow from a compact hose into a full-length, powerful hose. Turn off the water and it shrinks right back down, making it easy to carry and easy to store. But now it's even better. With a tough ballistic-infused outer sleeve, a pocket pivot that helps reduce kinks at the spigot, thicker washers to help resist leaks, and UV protection to fight sun damage. And for a limited time, you'll get 2 free gifts, a 360-degree pocket pivot and a thumb drive nozzle. Just go to PocketHose.com/podcast. That's PocketHose.com/podcast for your 2 free gifts with purchase. PocketHose.com/PODCAST.
If you're watching the video, I am wearing sunglasses indoors because my eyeballs are borderline sealed shut. And don't worry, it's not pink eye, okay? I was just in my car driving through my neighborhood after picking up some homemade rigatoni from my local Italian deli, okay? Because I'm going to make penne alla vodka. I'm going to make a rigatoni alla vodka, spicy rigatoni this evening. If you have 3 minutes to spare, okay, and we're like-minded creatures, and you want to have the time of your life, I don't ask, I beg of you, I demand of you to please listen to Kate Hudson right on time, alone in your car, and you will have the sodium purge. I was crying to the point where I almost hit like 3.5 pedestrians, okay? All in the name of Kate Hudson's music career. And I know I'm being a cunt. I'm not making fun of her. She has a wonderful voice. The lyrical prowess of this song, it's not a song. It's a journey. It's a fucking story. You know, I'm just going to read the lyrics. And the only reason I want to go on tour now is because I want to, in unison, okay, all over the country, sing this song together in harmony from start to finish, okay? Including the outro, like musical instrumental break that is meant for like a vocal run, but it never gets there, and then it's just done. So it's so layered, it's so camp, it's so, I mean, just something that brings me joy that I would like to share with you guys, because nothing has made me laugh harder than 4.5 minutes ago driving through my neighborhood, blasting right on time. And quite frankly, we need to help her out with the streams because it is a ballad for the masses. Waiting for fall on this dead-end street. Cleveland always covered in leaves. A simple life for her, seemingly. Daddy ain't as fit to work the nights most times. Mommy had a tongue that spoke the best of lines. She loved them purely, endlessly. But something pulled on her to move like lightning. She... I have to start this episode. I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't listen to it. I can't get through it. You guys, nothing has made me laugh this hard. And the last time I was inconsolable every fucking time was when that old woman 3 years ago when I took Leo to the dog park and she parked up on an elevated parking lot and she tried to take a shortcut. She was creeping down this ivy hill and her German shepherd started lunging into the middle of the street to get to the dog park. And she fell. She fell face first down the hill, and she was holding on for dear life, white-knuckling that leash dog dragged her across the street. And me and Andrew were in my car, and we hit the brakes, and we just saw this woman being dragged across the asphalt. And I couldn't breathe. And Andrew's like, shit. The windows are down, the top is down. I had a convertible at the time. And I was laughing just like I'm laughing right now. Like uncontrollable. 3 feet from her. She's just, skinned knees. She had rug burn on her forehead. And that German Shepherd was just hauling ass to the dog park. And I wept. And now the joy is back. Because Kate Hudson is putting music out. And this song, you guys, please just listen to it in its entirety. And then imagine us singing it together. Okay. Whilst ribbon dancing. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Should I start this episode over? Probably, but I'm just going to leave it because it is my truth. It's just lyrically, you have to read the lyrics and sing along. Start practicing because I am eventually going to go on tour. And the start of the show is, I use the term show loosely because I'll probably end up laying on the floor crying, laughing. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. So there's that. What else was I going to talk about? I think that's it. Thank you all for listening. I'm so sorry. I thought I was in the mood to record an episode, but I can't stop crying because I'm laughing so hard. I need to get fired. Oh my God. I am going a little crazy. Last night, oh man. Whew. Okay, we're going to get it together. I've had a wonderful 24 hours. Despite hysterically crying into a microphone on a Saturday, singing Kate Hudson lyrics, ooh, and watch the music video. Yeah, this is what you need to do. Okay, it's this. First, just read the lyrics through with no background music. Then go alone in your car for a drive and listen to the song. Then go home and watch the music video with the gauzy drapes and the tufted sofas. This is so awkward on so many levels because I'm not going to DTR, but I'm 1 degree of separation on a few different accounts with Kate Hudson. And I'm transfixed. Amy Poehler said it best. I saw a clip of Amy Poehler a couple days ago, and she said that she doesn't like a celebrity side hustle. And I would say that I don't know that I love a celebrity side hustle too. I think it's different if a celebrity starts a brand, a product. And even then it's a little slippery. Jessica Alba, honest, we'll give it to her. Jessica Simpson and her platform shoes, we're going to give it to her. George Clooney and his tequila, we're going to give it to her. But there's something about do what makes you happy, obviously, but do it with self-awareness. That's all I ask. Just through and through, and it's just a slippery slope. I'm so sorry. But I agree, with Amy Poehler. I think you have to be really careful. You know what I mean? I think a singer wanting to get into acting, the Lady Gaga, a seamless, beautiful, makes sense. But I think that when we're gonna foray into different arenas of entertaining, we need to be mindful. We need to look inward, and I wish the best. The gauzy curtains, the black and white. I can't get too into it. It's too awkward, but it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I always I've been thinking about this a lot. What are people's mission statements? What's the agenda? My agenda is just to be a cunt most of the time. When I put something out into the universe digitally, it's 97% of the time for my own entertainment value. And then 3% of the time, it's just to be a cunt. And it's not lovely, but I am being myself, and I'm navigating my social media as myself, even though it's not lovely or tasteful. I look at someone like Bethany Frankel, who's posting on average like 18 to 47 videos a day, talking about meringues, talking about lotions, talking about popcorn, talking about hot sauce, talking about, mocktails, talking about ice, talking about tank tops, talking about purses, talking about hair products, talking about lotion, like talking about everything all the time. And I just want to know, like, when she pops on and she hits us with a reel about meringues and then taking the residual meringue crumbles and then putting it over ice cream and then dedicating like 3 minutes of the day and then hashtagging the fuck out of it. What is the mission statement? And I know the counter argument because I'm a very smart person, okay? And I like to dance, okay? I can dance, I can tango with the best of them. I like to tussle and I like to tango. So I'm always preemptively thinking about the counter argument because that's what you do when you're, often in a pickle. And I know that Bethany's rebuttal would be like, meanwhile, I'm moving product. I built a multi-million-dollar business. I'm a businesswoman. What do you have? Some stupid podcast? Yes. And like a healthy, happy, stable home life and, long-term relationships and clarity on almost everything. But like, that's just such a defensive counter argument. Like, yeah, meanwhile, I move product. Like, I make millions of dollars. I make business. But yeah, but you're also like, yes. But now we're talking about meringues on ice cream for what? Like, what's the mission statement? That you are an authority on everything? That feels like a really chaotic bar to set for yourself. And it's weird to me. I think it's weird. Like love her, Lilas, but I find it to be weird. And I've had another epiphany recently. I think I said more as like a trope historically that like, I love a little crazy. But I don't love crazy. I'm not attracted to crazy in any way, shape, or form. I run from it actually. And I feel like I have a pretty good gauge on it, but like, I don't identify as a crazy person. I'm not attracted to crazy people. I don't have any crazy friends. I know we're not supposed to use the term crazy, which is stupid, sophomoric, and infantilizing. We're allowed to use the word crazy. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this, Sorry for the abrupt interruption. My computer is going to explode. So we are on borrowed time here. I'm going to see how long I can go without my computer smoking, sparking, shutting down, and just making my job really, really hard. I just got back from the cutest little play date. I went to Whitney Cummings' house and our sons were just like wrestling and playing, and it was so fucking cute. This is why I drink. Okay, there's a couple reasons. This is why I drink, and this is why in approximately 27 minutes, I will be slow sipping a martini, drooling, watching, Tinsley Mortimer deep throat Scott at a bowling alley for the 700th time. My cerebral capacity at the end of the weekend is so shot to shit. And I learned this about myself today, yet again. It started with Succession. When I was watching Succession, I consider myself kind of a smart little lassie, okay? We're just buckle up, baby. Buckle up. It's one of those days. I consider myself like kind of smart, but I'm also fucking stupid. And I understand what is beyond my cerebral capacity. When I was watching Succession, I was having a really hard time like following the plot lines and like the intricacies of the relationship and this person's involvement in the business and who's that guy and why is he trying to sell and like what's Logan. Like I midway through was like, you know what, Jackie, this is not for you. So we have to simplify here and we just got to go baseline. This guy is doing business with this guy and he's bad. He's good. He like money. He no like money. Like I have to get like my primary instincts. Like I have to become like a cave woman to understand like complicated shit. So I'm at Whitney's house and she brings out these toys, okay, and says something to the degree of, we made these with our 3D printer. And I'm like, those are real? Like, I thought that was a joke. What do you mean 3D printer? She starts to explain it. I start going a little cross-eyed and start foaming at the mouth and like A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't get it. I'm never going to sleep again because of this 3D fucking printer. She's like, yeah, will you download these files? You can get them from Etsy and then it'll print it. I'm like, on a paper? She's like, no, it's like plastic. I'm like, what? How though? And she's like, it's like 3D printing. I'm like, no. Like I can't do this on a Sunday right now. I will decompose. I will pass away. I will not sleep for 4 nights thinking about a 3D printer. And it's like, if I could go back in time and just erase. I'm trying to get into Severance because everyone says it is the best show that's ever been made. I'm season 1, episode 6, and there's a lot of details that Jackie no comprendo. You know what I mean? With the hallways and the departments, and is he in on it? And what does MDR stand for? And what does E&O stand for? There's a lot of acronyms, and usually I'm pretty good with an acronym, but it's just not registering for me. So I just have to go bad guy, good guy. You know what I mean? Like I have to really dumb it down. And on top of everything, I am saddled with this man that I'm married to who just called me. I said, Andrew, I'm running a little late. I'm making a sensible chili. It's raining. It's a Sunday. We went to the farmer's market. I got an artisanal slice of beef and some bell peppers with, non-GMOs because I care about pesticides now. Do I really? Not really. I never cleaned one piece of fruit until about 3.5 months ago. Okay. I've got the baking soda now. I've got the white wine vinegar. I'm buying the organic things. I'm soaking it. I'm draining it. And at the end of the day, maybe a little pesticide is good for the soul. Chicken soup could never. Anyways, I call Andrew. He said, I'm running a little bit behind. I need to hop on the old, decrepit laptop and try to like milk another 20 minutes before it burns the house down and the aliens abduct me. Is there any way you could maybe potentially help me get started on dinner? He's like, of course, Bob. I said, thanks. I said, if you could just, this is it. This is all I need from this man. If you could cut up, I can't even say cut up. You can never just tell somebody to like cut something. You can never tell a man. I didn't want to do that because it feels like a little too Amrata, like book of feminism, but this is the truth. You can't tell, at least my husband, to like cut something up. It has to be like so specific, like painfully specific. This is why I drink. I said, take a bell pepper and dice it up into small, I would say like dentine ice sized squares, not rectangles, squares would be nice. A gentle petite dice. I said, then if you could cut up the steak in similar bite-sized portions, like, the same size that it's been served in previous chilies. He says to me, I fuck you not. I almost, thank God Clyde was in the car, because otherwise I would have just taken a deep breath and just veered into a wall with just my foot all the way down on the gas, because there's just, I can't physically take it. He says to me, is the steak in the fridge? And I said, yeah, Andrew. The steak's in the fridge. Thank you so much. And then I couldn't even rip into him because I don't have the strength or the courage at this point. Like, I'm still just so exhausted from my beautiful vocal performance earlier in this episode. Like, yeah, the steak, the raw beef that we purchased together, that I even like went on a ledge and had them pack in ice because I was worried about the temperature control. A mere 8 hours ago. Yes, I put that steak in the refrigerator because that's where it belongs, Andrew. It's not in my car. Oh, where is the steak? It's not in my closet. It's not under the mattress like Girl Interrupted. I didn't leave it outside in the rain. It's in the fridge where we keep food that needs to be refrigerated. So that's how I'm doing today. Not well, bitch. And I'm sticking with Severance because I'm hoping I got to tell you, I looked at Andrew last night and I was like, is this better than Real Housewives of New York Scary Island trilogy? Like, just look me dead in my eye and be like, what makes it better? The writing? You couldn't write RHONY. Okay. Is it more captivating? I don't think so. Is it more artistic? I'm not sure. Are the characters more gripping? I don't think so. Like, when you go to bed at night, what makes you feel better? RHONY. Through and through, baby. I know earlier in the episode, or at least I think, I don't remember, it seems like so many moons ago, that I said that I don't really gravitate or identify as a crazy person. But let me tell you something. I woke up 2 nights ago in the middle of the night and I could hear a piano melody in my eardrums. I could hear like Cook-a-doodle-doo pad these walls and send me away. I could hear like a piano melody. Call me Augustina Rush. And you know how toxic Andrew is? Oh my God. I love talking shit about him because he'll never hear this. Andrew thinks that Clyde is a musical savant, which is, God bless him. I think it's a bit of a reach. I mean, if there's a musical savant in this family, she's got recession blonde hair and in desperate need of under eye filler. Ding, ding, ding. It's me, Jackie Schimmel. I don't know that it's Clyde. He is under the impression that Clyde is aware of, I don't really know how to say this because I'm not, in the know, but he thinks that he has like perfect pitch and that he like matches notes. So he'll like play him a chord and he says that he mimics back the chord. Or if he hears a song through the speakers, he says that he'll play the right note on the piano. This is diabolically untrue. Okay. This kid is like eating glue and like licking like outlets. He's not like, I don't think we have Andre Bocelli on our hands. I don't think that I mean, maybe I would love that. It would be but a dream. But this man is fucked in the head. So this is the same person that 14 minutes ago asked me if I kept the steak in the fucking fridge. So like his word has no value right now to me, at least. Like I am perturbed. Okay. More important information. Allegedly, Sydney Sweeney has called off her wedding, her engagement to whoever she was engaged to. You guys, it doesn't get more finger on the pulse pop culture news than this little girly. Okay, so allegedly, they're not getting married anymore. She was spotted at Glenn Powell's mashed potato face, Glenn Powell's sister's wedding. And the rumor is that those two are canoodling. The end. Next. Do I think that they're dating? Probably. Anyone but you. Oh, I don't want to be a bitch, but I just have to be. It's like the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I watched it on a plane, mouth agape. She is a fantastic actress. Okay. She's so amazing in Euphoria. That movie. I don't understand it. I don't get what was going on there. The press tour alone made me very rashy. But when I watched the movie, did it make me more or less attracted to Glenn Powell? None of the above. I know that people have big old lady boners for him. I do not. I just don't. He looks like the lead in a Hallmark movie. And I mean that in a bad way. It's a chiseled mashed potato face, but it is mashed potato through and through. And those two in the rom-com and it did something to my soul that I'll never get back. And highly recommend. It's like, I wish I did drugs. I wish I was into like mushrooms or the marijuana, and then maybe I could watch it again and like find it really, really funny. But it was upsetting. And I think they're like, did I read that they're doing another movie together? They're like the Richard Gere and Julia Roberts of our generation. And isn't that sad? Yes, it is. Breaking fucking news, everybody. I have a new martini making method. Also, it is 6:57 a.m. right now. 6:57 a.m. and I'm recording this. Last night I had a gorgeous martini before watching White Lotus, which we're also going to get into because, baby can't watch White Lotus before she goes to sleep because I mean, first it was the piano hymn the night before when I watched Severance. And then last night I woke up in like a cold sweat thinking someone had abducted my child, but also had like this reoccurring dream with these like crystal aquazura, like green lace shoes that I've never even seen before. They were gorgeous in my dream, but they kept reappearing. I don't know what the symbolism is, but anyways, what was I saying? Oh my God, my martini recipe. You guys, somebody call Bethany Frankel, okay? And lock that bitch up raw because I'm about to go viral because that is all I've ever wanted in life. I have the most beautiful, efficient, just deluxe martini recipe that was a happy accident. You will have ice chips like you've never had ice chips before. It is so easy. It is so simple. It's great for carpal tunnel because you don't even have to shake that hard. It is, I can't believe it's taken me this long. Okay, enough with the suspense. This is what you're going to do. For a very long time, I have been quite vocal about it being toxic and diabolical to leave the vodka in the freezer because, you know, you want those ice chips. You want a little bit of dilution. You don't want just cold vodka in a cup. That's not a cocktail. That's just a cup of cold vodka. If that's what you're in the pursuit of, fantastic. I want a slightly diluted vodka icy as fuck martini with not a micro shrivel of dirt. I want it clean as a whistle. I want it smooth. I don't want it watery, but I don't want it to sting too badly. You know what I mean? I want it to be only infused by the olives, but I don't want any actual olive juice. It is the perfect way to drink a martini, in my informed opinion, okay? So for a long time, I was like, you can't leave the vodka in the freezer because then when you shake it, you're not getting any real dilution because the vodka's cold and the ice is cold. It doesn't make sense. But here is the trick. You keep the vodka in the freezer. You fill your shaker. The Elevated Craft Shaker is the best. I've been saying this for years. You put the ice in the Elevated Craft Shaker. You can get it on Amazon. I have one for matcha. I have one for martinis. Okay? It's just spunky and sporty. So you put the ice in the shaker, you cover it with vodka as much as you are feeling that day, depending on the day. You know, sometimes we go 3 ounces, sometimes we go 6 ounces. We don't fucking know and we don't care. You know, you just eyeball it. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And then this is the kicker. And, you know, it is a bit of a luxury flex, but if you have a hot water filter on your sink or any access to very hot water, you just do the tiniest splash of hot water. Okay. If you've got a kettle, if you've got a will, if you've got a dream, if you've got an open flame and some time on your hands, I have that instant hot water filter on my sink and it is piping fucking hot because we set it all the way to the legal maximum because Gloria likes it boiling. And when she has her lemon water, I want to make sure it's piping hot because if not, I'm going to do 18 trips back and forth to the kitchen to reheat it till it's quite literally bubbling. Do you know that we went to Starbucks years ago and she got a coffee. She takes a sip. She's like, I'm sorry, this isn't hot enough. She brings it back to the counter. They're like, okay, we're sorry. We'll be able to we'll get you a fresh cup. They heat it up again. She takes a sip. I take a sip. My entire taste buds singed. Okay. I'm like, Grandma, this is so fucking hot. She's like, it's not hot enough. She goes back. She's like, I'm sorry, babe. Any chance you can make it a little warmer? I'm like, warmer? It's volcanic. It's Mount Vesuvius coffee. You can't, what are you in the pursuit of? She goes, babe, could you just make it a little bit hotter? They're like, ma'am, for insurance purposes and legally, we are not allowed to serve coffee even 0.03 degrees hotter than this cup of coffee that we have given you. I'm sorry. And she's like, well, I guess I'm not going to Starbucks again. I'm like, okay, bitch. So anyways, it's hot. And I'm talking just a smidge of super hot water. Something about, listen, I'm not a scientist, but something about that hot water at the end, just shocking the ice cubes and the ice cold vodka just gives you a chippy, icy layer, an icy, chippy layer that is going to blow your fucking mind. And you just shake, pour ice chips like you've never seen before. Call Christina Yamaguchi and get those skates on because you are going to be pirouetting and triple axling on your perfect fucking martini. You're goddamn welcome. Oh my God, another thing I wanted to share. This feels like a little personal, to be honest. But if we could like cue up some, I don't know, like inspiring sentimental music in the background while I read this, it would be amazing. Okay, so I did this thing many moons ago in the trenches of new motherhood where I was like, I feel like I'm not being affectionate enough with my son. This is like in the first 3 months. And I've been pretty vocal. I didn't really start loving him until maybe like 6.5 months when he was like more of a person and we could like do things together. And he just felt like less of a fleshy Shar-Pei potato. And I mean, still very potato-like in human form, but he just like started having a personality. And I was like, okay, there is a rhythm I can dance with motherhood that makes sense for me. The first 3 months, I felt like I was locked up in Alcatraz. Okay, this is how crazy I am. I was just telling a friend this yesterday. When I got home from the hospital, which was in under 24 hours, they were like, we really would like to just watch you and monitor you. And I was like, yeah, no, I've got Lupe at home waiting for me and season 3 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I'm going to fucking hightail it out of here. I was like ripping the IVs out of my arm and like doing cartwheels down the hallway. I was like, I got to get home. Like, I'm over this. It's been like 10 months. I'm done. We're on to the next chapter. I'm like a young teen mom now. You know, I'm trying to just like kick it into overdrive and like always hit the next benchmark. That's how I felt through my pregnancy and through, you know, the 4th trimester, as they say, which does make me want to stab myself in the labia, but whatever. So I get home. I'm like, okay, what's our new normal? Like, I want to go back to my routine. Like, I don't want that much to change. Like, we're going out to dinner. I went out to dinner 3 days after giving birth. Which granted isn't that weird. We did have a night nurse, Saint Lupe, my Lord and fucking Savior, truly. Lupe Christ, as we lovingly called her. And the baby was sleeping. I was still in diapers. I mean, I went and had a chicken parmesan with an ice pack on my puss. I don't like the word. I don't like saying puss. I don't like that. I don't know why that came out. It was an alliteration. Pack, puss, you know, whatever. So, I mean, I was just like in a maxi pad in an ice pack, like leaking on a leather banquet, having a chicken parmesan 2 days after giving birth, like a fucking crazy person. Granted, like my milk wasn't coming in. I was like, we're going. It's normal. It's Saturday. This is what we do. And I was just like cosplaying, like, yay, I have a baby now. I'm going to lay on this sofa for 3 hours and pretend like I'm enjoying myself when I'm literally like jumping out of my skin. I was jumping out of my skin and it was summer and it was hot and we couldn't really go anywhere. And I just felt like a prisoner and everyone was coming over all the day. I will never forget it. I put on white redone denim shorts 3 days after giving birth. I had some friends coming over. My girlfriend looks at me and she's like, what the fuck are you wearing? I was like, what? They fit. And she's like, first of all, you're a dumb bitch. Second of all, you're wearing denim shorts with a diaper and an ice pack and you just gave birth and you have hemorrhoids and stitches and you're sitting on an inflatable donut pillow and you're shoving your body into these redone shorts, which, by the way, anyone who's ever worn redone denim knows that if you have a hemorrhoid or a yeast infection, redone is not your friend. Those jeans live inside of you, okay? They crawl inside of you. They touch the inside of your fallopian tubes. It's why they make your ass look so good, but they are not comfortable. They are a tight, stringent, invasive gene company, a company that I love, by the way, but they are all up in your anal cavity. So it was a bold choice, but I was just like, mind over matter, like we're moving forward, everything's fine. I don't think I had postpartum. I think I was just having a bit of a identity crisis because I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to do this all day, every day for the rest of my life? And I couldn't zoom out. I couldn't even rationalize my own life philosophy, which is that everything is temporary and the only way out is through. The windshield is bigger than the rear view for a mirror. A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. Thank you. And even though I knew that, I could not zoom out. Okay. So I had to overcompensate in other ways because I just wasn't like feeling that thing. And oh my God, my friend has this great line about maternal instincts. I should text her and then I'll report back next week. Cliffhanger. But I think that I think maternal instincts are subjective. And I don't know that everybody has those instincts right away. Or maybe the maternal instincts are taking care of yourself in that moment because you feel so fucked up that if you are not with it, then you cannot steer the ship of the family. Does that make sense? Because that's kind of how I felt. I felt like I needed to nurture myself in that moment which sounds really selfish. And I'll wear it because it's the truth, but that's how I felt. I was like, maybe I'm not good. And if I'm not good, he's not going to be good. And then he's not going to be good. And then we're not going to be good. So I need to like take a beat and like do what I need to do to get myself like not in a funk, because I was so afraid of having postpartum. My mother had it and like everyone had it. I know so many people in my family that had it. And I was like, I don't want to get it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I don't think I had it. I think I just had like a slight detachment from reality and my son, unfortunately. I was like, I wanted to protect myself. I was so afraid something was going to go wrong or I just like, I don't know. It was so weird. But what was the point of that? Ding, 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 ding. I remember. So in those moments, I was feeling also really guilty that I wasn't like over the moon obsessed with him right away. Because everyone was like, have you never felt like this before? And I'm like, no, I've like felt an affinity for like a lot of things more than I feel an affinity for my son right now. And I cannot wait to play this for him. Clip it. But yeah, so I was like, I have to do something that's sweet during these moments. So that, in 6 months when I look back, it's a big LOL. So one night I created him an email address, which I highly recommend to everybody do if you have small children or like older children. I think it's a really off-brand but sweet thing to do. So I made him an email address. And then like after, a couple martinis or like a beautiful morning, like anytime I felt some shrivel of affection towards my new life, I would write him an email. And in my head, I was going to do it like every day or every week. And it hasn't really turned out to be that way, but I probably have like a good solid 20 emails, which is enough. It'll make a book. And last week I had Clyde and we had a really cute day and he's walking. He finally decided to grace us with his beautiful steps. The PT, the physical therapist, literally looked at me and she was like, listen, and she's so cool. She goes, I can keep taking money from you, but your son can walk. So it's not like a physicality thing. This is like a stubborn thing. This is a personality disorder. And he just doesn't want to. So we changed up the approach. It was a lot of bribery. It was a lot of big boys walk. Big boys that walk get ice cream. Big boys that walk get to go on the airplane. Big boys that walk get to go to Disneyland. Look at all the kids walking. Don't you want to walk? Walk, Clyde. You need to walk. Like it was so much hyper focus on the walk. And he would just like look at me with like this stubborn little fucker face and just sit down and like not walk. The more we were asking him to do it, I wonder where he gets this from. he was like, he would just sit his ass down and he'd like crawl like with a vengeance. And I'm like, this little fucker. Okay. Really smart though, like low key proud of him, and do think it's kind of cute that he has the cerebral capacity to be such a fucking asshole. But the second we stopped, and I'm like, I don't care if you walk, you can crawl forever. And then I would just run away from him in the house. I'd be like, see how much faster it is when you're up on your feet? He just decided to start walking. He just popped up, and we didn't applaud. We didn't praise him. We don't do that, because the second you start clapping for him, he goes down. You know, I love that about him. He's a humble man of extreme independence and ingenuity. So, you know, and self-sufficiency, self-conviction, I would say. But so he started walking, and I was like, just like obsessed with him that day. And I was really like feeling him. Okay. And I sit down, I have a beautiful glass of Billecart Semon Rosé. And I was like, I'm going to write my baby an email like a dumb Jerica ass bitch. Okay. And I must have just gotten a little trigger happy with the typing. And I write this email. I put in his email address, or what I think is his email address, and I send this letter at 7:33 p.m. to my ex-agent. That's a male. Okay, 7:33 p.m. Here we go. Hello, my angel. I'm so sorry I forgot about this email address. I've been meaning to write you more, but your mother will be obsessed and hovering over you for the remainder of your life, so a few less emails won't damage you long term. I had the best day with you. We started off at a farmer's market with a bunch of your cousins, your aunt and uncle, so many people that love you. In true form, you were being a fucking asshole, but then you had a blueberry muffin and took a nice little nap in the car. You woke up, we went antiquing, had some lunch, tootled around the neighborhood, and then I took you to have ice cream, or actually a $12 gelato for the first time, and you loved it. I just want you to know that I have so much fun with you, even when you're being a little bitch, and I'm so happy you are my baby. I love every single thing about you. You are this is very sweet. I'm so sweet. You are stubborn, emotional, particular, loving, and full of life. I'm so glad you're walking. Even if you didn't, you're my favorite person. I'm obsessed with you. Love you forever, my gorgeous little magic man. I can't wait to see you in the morning and open mouth kiss you in your boogers. Just remember, no one will ever compare to me. Love you. To my middle-aged ex-agent. So I go to bed. And I remember that I wrote this email. And, you know, never let a good deed go unshared. So I wake up Andrew in the morning. And I'm like, Andrew, I'm so cute. He's like, I know, honey. And I'm like, no, you don't even understand. I'm like an amazing mom. He's like, okay, no, I know. And I'm like, I am so goddamn cute. Listen, read this letter that I wrote. So I hand him the phone, and he's like, I'm not going to say the name, but he's like, do you realize that you sent this to blank? Let's call him Colin, because maybe that was his name. I'm kidding. He's like, you realize that you sent this to Colin, right? And I'm like, Colin? And he's like, yeah, remember? And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Now, when I look back in time, historically, Colin is pretty quick to an email reply. Any day, any time, any second, you get a reply from Colin, okay? Bad agent, but very efficient with the emails, okay? So now I'm like, do I just let this live, or do I acknowledge Colin and say, sorry, that was meant for my son? Or do I just let it ride? I don't know how to let it ride. So I sent a follow-up email that was basically like just all capitals, like LOL, that was for my 1.5-year-old son. Have a good day. Like, enjoy, period, the end, fin. then I just like forwarded it to Clyde, and I thought like that'd be a funny story later. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you. Also, is everyone up to speed on the Tickety Talks? There's this new frontier, new wave, new trend. Everyone is selling their designer handbags. And there's one woman in particular. She's from the UK. It is an influencer that I am not privy to, but a lot of people know her in the UK. Her name's Lydia Millen, and she has been on this Opus Trilogy TikTok about how she's selling the entirety of her luxury bag collection, that she has been manifesting, curating, sourcing, purchasing for the past 15 years, and that these bags no longer serve her, and what they originally stood for is no longer applicable to her. And she started her career, you know, finding reasonable bags that were stylish and well made. And soon it turned into her acquiring secondhand Birkins to then one day be in a position where she could have leather appointments and get quota bags. And now, you know, she wants to streamline, and she has put so much of her self-worth and self-esteem into these bags, and that's what they represent. And she doesn't, it sounds like somebody needs some cash, if I'm being totally honest. And while I understand a closet purge, I think giving a purse that much credibility and symbolism in your life, it actually has nothing to do about the person. Maybe we just look inward and like fix what's wrong within, and to penalize and displace blame into the scapegoat Birkins feels very odd to me. I can't really make sense of it. If you just want to sell the bags for some kashish, can we live in a world where we just say that? Or does everything need to have a symbolic, you know, self-effacing journey, vision, howl at the moon, you know, fucking live, laugh, love? Like, I don't understand. Why do we have to, it's not romanticizing it. It's like injecting it with kind of self-gratuitous expression. I don't even know what the word is. It's like making this like a self-help journey when maybe you just want to sell some bags because maybe we're in a recession. That's okay too. I had a long talk with my cousins yesterday over some bagels about just like the purse gate of it all, and all of us like just constantly like in the pursuit. And I'm speaking for myself mostly when I say me and my cousins. I mean me and like all the voices in my head. I'm not into fake bags. I just would like to go and say that. I have no problem with people carrying fake bags. I understand why people carry fake bags. I have friends that carry, I don't actually. I don't know why I said that. That's another lie. I don't know anyone. I know a couple people and they're pretty honest about it, so we give them a pass. It's not for me, just because I would rather go on Amazon or go to Zara and get a little child labor fast fashion bag than try to like misrepresent something if it's not it. You know what I mean? It's just about transparency for me. But I don't know. It's everyone's doing it. Bethany's doing it. Lydia Millen, whatever her name's doing it. People are purging their luxury bags. They don't like what they stand for. I would like to go on record and say that I will not be purging any of my purses because I do hold a lot of my self-worth and value and memories in those bags. And the day that I come on here and say that I'm just like no longer attached to material things, you could just like send the cops over to my house because I'm having a psychotic break, because I hold a lot of weight in those bags, you know, metaphorically. So that's just me. I'm just professionally scrolling through Instagram as I'm doing this podcast, and I see a quote from Khloe Kardashian, who I do love from a distance, that says, "I was so much more confident when I was fat and chubby." Uh-huh. Sure. Okay, White Lotus, White Lotus, White Lotus. We only have one more episode left, which is such a fucking bummer. The loose ends are starting to kind of come together. If you haven't seen White Lotus, skip through this, okay? My favorite dynamic is between the three women that are on vacation. It is so subtle. It is so familiar. It is so well written. I love it so much. I loved when Jacqueline said, is it all, if you always pick the short end of the stick, is it bad luck? Wait, let's just see. I can't land a plane to save my fucking life. What was it? She says, God, it's so good. If you always choose the short stick, is it always bad luck? Loved that. Tingles down my goddamn spine. So we find out, okay, so the three, I'm transfixed by the three friends and the three siblings. Now there is a scene at the very beginning of White Lotus where you see Saxon, Piper, and Lachlan all sitting on a bench. I think they're waiting for the boat to get to the White Lotus Hotel. Saxon is wearing sunglasses. Piper is wearing headphones, and Lachlan has something in his mouth. And I read a theory that, because everything has a meaning, every scene has a meaning, that scene is like, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So they're representing like the three monkeys. Is that a primary fundamental of Buddhism? I'm not sure, but it sounds like it, right? I was watching it and I'm like, this is how I know that I'm a dumb bitch. I said to Andrew in the middle, I'm like, I'd like to study up on Buddhism. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, it seems interesting to me. Like, I don't want to practice anything, but like Buddhism seems interesting to me. Cut to me like never reading a book. Like I have not read a book since like the table of contents at Island of the Blue Dolphins. Okay. Or like a couple pages of The Giver in 7th grade because I had to. I have not finished a book in maybe like 10 years. Like I don't read books. I don't read books. I mean, I have read books, but like the fact that people on the internet, I think they're all fucking dirty liars, say that they read before going to bed. And they don't, like, they're not on their phone and they don't watch television, and you read every night before bed. I don't know about that. That's not for me at all. I can't even imagine. Andrew would call the cops if I was like, hey, babe, could you turn the TV off? I'm reading my book. I'm reading a book. This is my book, and I'm reading it. I'm reading my book. I love books. Books. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. And you're welcome for the vocal performance. You're welcome for the range. You're welcome for the insight. That was my White Lotus recap, in case you're wondering. Shit's getting good. This is what I think. I'm going to land this plane. I think that the security guard, I forget his name, Gulkin, Dalkin, whatever. The Thai security guard that is courting Lisa from Blackpink. See, we're getting base level here again. Which, by the way, have you heard Rockstar by Lisa? Because it's a bop. I sing it very, very loudly in my car by myself all the time. It's a personal hype song. Stream it. Women supporting women in the music industry. And I think but that's so obvious. He is going to be the one that shoots someone, and I don't know who dies. So that's where I'm at. We're getting there. Do I think that the masseuse, I forget her name. Is it Gabby? The masseuse that comes from the White Lotus, Hawaii, that then comes to Thailand, who knows Greg. Greg offers her $100,000 basically as a bribe to shut the fuck up because he's on the run after Tanya's been murdered, Jennifer Coolidge's character. So he pulls her aside and says, listen, like, Tanya wanted you to open up your own spa. I'd love to give you $100,000 with like a little wink, wink, like shut the fuck up and take the money. She says she needs some time to think about it. I loved that scene because it was so silently tense, because she could have just been like, you're a murderer. And then it could have escalated. But then it would be over. You know what I mean? So her just being like really cool, calm, and collected and being like, yeah, let me just think on it. And him being cool, calm, and collected. But there's this like silent boiling is so good. And I think she's going to agree to take it. I do. Because it would be so easy for her not to. See, what I would do is I would say, absolutely. And then I would play along, play dumb, and I would immediately call the authorities instantly, like a narc. But that's just me. Doesn't make for great TV. Am I right, Mike White? Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you next week. I'm going to go shut the fuck up now. Goodbye.